Frank Lloyd Wright is widely regarded as one of history's greatest architects. His ideas about creativity, nature, and purposeful design continue to inspire people for beauty architecture. Here are some of her most famous sayings. The truth is more important than the facts. Imagine two people looking at the same building. One sees concrete, steel, and glass. The other sees hope, imagination, and a dream brought to life. Frank Lloyd Wright believed that facts tell us what something is, but truth tells us why it matters. That's why he said, the truth is more important than the facts. This quote became famous because it reminds us that life is not only about collecting information. Real wisdom comes from understanding meaning. In architecture, as in life, the deepest truths are often hidden beneath what we first see. Study nature, love nature, stay close to nature. It will never fall you. Long before sustainable design became popular, Frank Lloyd Wright looked to forest, rivers, mountains, and sunlight for inspiration. He believed nature was the world's greatest teacher. He once said, study nature, love nature, stay close to nature. It will never fall you. These words became famous because they encourage us to reconnect with the natural world. His homes blended into the landscape instead of dominating it. He showed that the best ideas often come from simply observing the world around us. Form and function are one. People often ask, should something be beautiful or should it simply work well? Frank Lloyd Wright believed that was the wrong question. He answered it with a powerful idea. Form and function are one. This quote became famous because it transformed modern design. To wait, beauty and usefulness should never compete. The best creations are both practical and beautiful. It's a lesson that applies not only to architecture but to business, art, and everyday life. An idea is salvation by imagination. Every great invention, every masterpiece, every remarkable building began as a single idea. Frank Lloyd Wright understood that imagination is where change begins. That's why he said, an idea is salvation by imagination. This quote became famous because it celebrates the power of creative thinking. The world changes when someone dares to imagine something that does not yet exist. Space is the breath of art. Walk into a crowded room, then step into a quiet, open hall. The difference is not the walls, it's the space. Frank Lloyd Wright believed empathy. Space gives beauty, room to adjust. He said, space is the breath of earth. These words became famous because they changed how architects thought about design. Sometimes what we leave out is just as important as what we build. The same is true in music, writing, and life itself. Youth is a quality, not a matter of circumstances. People often believe youth disappears with age. Frank Lloyd Wright disagreed. Even in his later years, he continued designing bold new buildings. He once said, youth is a quality, not a matter of circumstances. This quote became famous because it reminds us that curiosity, enthusiasm, and creativity have no age limit. As long as we continue learning and dreaming, a part of us remains forever young. Give me the luxuries of life, and I will willingly do without the necessities. At first, this quote sounds surprising, but Frank Lloyd Wright was not talking about expensive possessions. He believed true luxuries were beauty, creativity, meaningful work, and inspiring surrounding. He once joked, give me the luxuries of life, and I will willingly do without the necessities. The quote became famous because it reveals his belief that the human spirit needs inspiration just as much as comfort. Sometimes what enriches our lives cannot be measured by money. Frank Lloyd Wright did not simply design buildings. He received the way people thought about creativity, nature, and purpose. His words remind us that innovation begins with imagination, that nature remains our greatest teacher, and that true success comes from creating something meaningful. Perhaps his greatest lesson of this. The strongest foundations are not built from stone alone, but from vision, courage, and the willingness to think differently.